Sometimes the biggest thing holding us back isn't what we're doing wrong, it's the lie we quietly agree to. And one of the biggest lies many of us grow up hearing is, well, we all sin. It sounds harmless, right? But that mindset can trap you, keep you small, and make you believe you'll never rise higher than the struggles you're fighting. I want to talk about that today because somebody watching needs to break free from it. I'm not here to pretend any of us are perfect. I'm not here to preach at you. I just want to talk to you like a friend because I've been there. I've said those same words to justify the areas in my life where I felt stuck. But the truth is that phrase, we all sin, can become a crunch that stops us from growing. It lowers the standard. It makes us settle. And deep down, you know you weren't created to settle. You were created to rise, to grow, to become better than the version of you from yesterday. Here's the real problem with that mindset. It creates this invisible ceiling. You mess up, you feel guilty, but then you shrug it and say, well, everyone sins. And the moment you do that, you silence that conviction that was actually trying to help you grow. You silence the part of you that wanted to change. You lower your expectations of yourself to match the weakness instead of the strength. And over time, you start to believe that failure is just who you are. You start to believe you'll always struggle with the same things, that you'll always fall short, that you'll never break certain habits. That's the danger, not the sin, but the permission you give yourself to stay in it. Let me take this deeper for a second. Most people don't realize this, but when you accept the we all sin mindset, you unconsciously place your identity in your flaw instead of your future. You wake up expecting to fall instead of expecting to grow. It becomes a pattern, and patterns shape personality. Think about how many people never become who they were meant to be simply because they believe change was impossible. They believe struggle was permanent. They believe sin was stronger than discipline, commitment, or purpose. But the truth is, growth starts with expectation, and if you don't expect more from yourself, you'll never reach more. Here's the moment everything shifts. You weren't called to be perfect, but you were absolutely called to grow. You were called to elevate. You were called to break cycles. The point isn't that you'll never mess up. The point is that you don't settle for less. You don't use the phrase, we all sin, as an excuse to stay stuck. Instead, you use awareness as fuel. You confront the things that need to change. You stand up stronger the next day. That's where freedom is, not in pretending you have it all together, but in refusing to let your weakness define you. The moment you understand that, you start walking differently, you start thinking differently. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's always fallen and start seeing yourself as someone who's always rising. So let me wrap this up. You don't have to live under that old mindset anymore. You can break that ceiling. You can grow beyond the habits you thought were permanent. You can step into a version of yourself that actually reflects who you were created to be. Don't settle, don't shrink, rise. And hey, if you connected with this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next message. We're building something real here, and I want you to be a part of it. And before you go, take a moment and check out some of my other videos here on my channel. And if something speaks to you, share it with someone who might need it today. You never know whose life you might help shift. Thanks for spending this time with me. Here, your growth matters. I'll see you in the next video.